Hello, and going to start off just like I do all the time. I'm not a professional advisor. This is not a financial advisory channel. It is just my way of how I trade, and please don't take it as advice. So, anyway, moving on. This is actually for the end of the week, the first week. So my goal was to have $2,000, and it is $1,000 journey here. But I did have $2,000 in reserve, so I started off with my last day here um, of the week with an extra $100 in there. So my grand total going into my Nadex account was somewhere around $151. Uh, Not too bad, not too great. It means I've got one position I can work, and the odds are 100% against me. I would never ever suggest anybody starting that way, but I've put myself in this position, so it's up to me to get out of it. So I'd started the day. Day's already done and gone. So what I did was I started off, did some absolute fundamental trades. Basically, figured if I was going to act like a child, I'd be treated like a child. So in my strategy list, I went over it before I got going, and also added in some aspects for, although my time frame may be 45 minutes, give or take, I will only be allowed to make two trades. That's it. No more, no less. It's time to put the restrictions on, put the cuffs on, and definitely make it work for me and start following my strategy. My strategy that I've proven works. I think that's probably the hardest part about this is I went through the day. It was tough, very, very tough. Uh, because I wanted to get out there and I wanted to be the superstar and I wanted to make that $1 million trade, and I didn't. Not even a little bit, I didn't. So, as my camera goes out here, I this is not Hollywood. This is not Hollywood. See my other videos about strategies and everything else, the warnings. Um, it's to be expected. I did not expect this much. What wasn't expected wasn't necessarily the market failing, because I do have expectations in my strategies for that. What I didn't expect was for me to fail so on such a level that my basics and my fundamentals were just gone. I completely ignored my trading plan and everything about it, and that absolutely destroyed me. So it is what it is. It's done. It's gone. So I traded off today. I made my two trades. I made one really good trade, and then a little $1 gimme. So I did my two trades. I didn't even need to do the $1 gimme. It was the last trade of the day. Figured, you know what, just to you know make this week end. There it was. So as a weekly summary, as with any trader, you always want to stick to your fundamentals, to your basics, to your trade plan. When in doubt, trade the plan. Stop trying to be Hollywood's greatest gift or man's God's gift to the earth, whatever you may want to call it. Slow and steady, slow and steady. I would love to be able to trade, 20 contracts at a time, but my account won't allow it. If I mess up, I'm done. It blows out accounts. That's how people do it. Yeah, it's great you made one or two great trades, but the idea is to be able to do it consistently. And that's what makes you a profitable trader and not some hobbyist who's just coming through. And that's my goal, to sit here, make $1,000, preferably in a month. That's where we're going to start. With the beginning of the new month coming up, or with the beginning of May here coming up, that's the goal. Make $1,000 in the month. That's it. Not too hard. Shouldn't be too rough. It's pretty straightforward. 20 trading days in May. Shouldn't be too hard. I got to make $50 a day, but I'm trading one contract, so I need to trade at somewhere in the neighborhood of $25 per contract. Not be wrong. No room for error, but it's a reasonable goal. Not unheard of. With the beginning of the month, I'm going to release that, two trade minimum there, but I will keep it under control. It'll probably go up to three trades on safety's sake. So some days I may get three, some days I may get one. Knowing that kind of thing, that's where we're going to start off. I've proven that I am not a Hollywood trader, so here we go. So the beginning of the month will be great, but this week's summary is pretty straightforward. Stick to your basics. You have a plan, you put it there in place, you back tested it, you spent all that time testing it. Why wouldn't you? I don't know even why I did that. So even though I don't know why I did it, doesn't mean you can't. I'm hoping that you learn from these mistakes. That's why there's videos out there, and I'm hoping this one is one of those where people can relate to, or at least see it before it happens. Stick to the basics. Otherwise, you're going to blow out your account. I've already done it once, and I've got a little bit more left in me. But again, preparing for stupid little things like that, that's what it's all about. Expecting the worst, preparing for it, and then giving it your all at your best. So this week's report is very simple. Stick to the basics. Basics, basics, basics. If it's in your plan, trade your plan. Don't do anything else. No need to get crazy. And remember, this isn't a Hollywood action movie. So, all right, traders, stay happy. Just make it safe trades. Trade your plan.